December of 2019, I'd been homeless on the streets of Austin, Texas for 1 year. It's 2 a.m., 40 degrees outside, I'm wearing a tank top and shorts. I'm dope sick, I'm strung out on meth, and I'm sitting there freezing my ass off, and all of a sudden some random car pulls up in the middle of the street and stops. So this guy gets out of the car, walks up to me and goes, "Hey man, you cold?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah." So he pops his trunk, gets out this big fluffy quilt and hands it to me. Then looks at me, goes, "Hey man, when's the last time you ate? You hungry?" Been up a few days on meth, I'm starving. So I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." Reaches into his pocket, gives me 20 bucks and says, "Here you go, man, God bless you." Then he walks back to his car. And as I'm sitting there blown away, before he gets in his car, he looks at me and goes, "Hey Spencer, God has a plan for your life, man." Then he gets in his car and drives off. And I'm sitting there, man, I got this quilt, I got 20 bucks. I'm like, damn, that was nice of that guy. Wait a minute, I didn't tell that dude my name. You never know who might show up when you need it the most. A homeless man walks into a McDonald's planning on going in the bathroom and slitting his wrists because he's tired of living. He'd been homeless a year, he'd been up 7 days on meth, and he was done. Walks into the McDonald's, he sees an empty seat and decides, you know what, I'm gonna rest my head for a second, and he sits down. As he's sitting there, a stranger comes up to him and goes, "Hey man, what do you want to drink?" He looks up, the homeless man sees this stranger has bought him a Big Mac and fries and now is gonna get him something to drink as well. So the stranger gets him a Dr. Pepper, gives him the food, and as he's leaving, he looks at the homeless man and says, "Hey man, it can get better. You're not alone." And then he leaves. And because of that stranger's kindness, the homeless man decides, you know what? I'm not gonna kill myself today. I'm gonna get up and leave. And he does. And I'll always be grateful for that stranger who helped save my life that day, because I was that homeless man. How do homeless people stay warm during extreme temperatures? This was one of my last resorts when I lived on the streets. I would trespass to an apartment complex pool area. They all had these outside bathrooms, but they locked from the inside. Lock the door, the jacket I had, lay it down, use my backpack as a pillow. I would just post up here all night or as long as I could. Worst case, if someone came and jingled the door, I'd know to get up and leave and I could play it off. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that very often. And although I'm very thankful to not be homeless anymore, I'm grateful for things like that that helped me survive when I was. How do homeless people stay warm when it's freezing outside? This is what I did when I lived on the streets. So I would canvass local dumpster areas and find a pallet. I would come downhill, set this pallet up to protect me from the wind. I would find some brush, like this old tree. And I would set any brush I had up against the pallet to block the wind. And there I'd throw down my backpack and I would just snuggle up. And believe it or not, even that little bit of protection from the wind makes a huge difference. But thankfully, I don't have to live that way anymore. And I'm very grateful for that. The entire 1 year I lived homeless on the streets, you know who showed up for me the most? It wasn't the church people who I grew up with, who had all the beautiful scriptures to quote. It wasn't my best friends I went to school with my whole life. It was the prostitute who let me stay in her hotel room for 7 days so I could detox from heroin so I wouldn't get jumped in an alleyway. It was the fellow homeless guy who gave me his only blanket so I didn't have to crawl up in a ditch to get warm. It was the drug dealer who looked at me and said, "You know what, man, you're better than this. You can do so much better with your life. Get out of here." The world looks at them like they're outcasts and they have nothing to offer. But the truth is they were more real to me than most people I'd ever met. Your worth isn't determined by your circumstance. We all have something to give regardless of where we're at.